Mistakes in life are great lessons, especially if it's followed by big consequences. A consequence that we will never forget because it has left some damages, whether it is in our relationships, in our reputation or integrity, or in our confidence to ourselves. The best way to treat mistakes is to actually admit it, learn from it, and make it right the next time around. So we become better versions of ourselves. I've received many interest and feedback on last week's weekly tip on how to get a good credit score. Many are so concerned about their credit score, or perhaps they just want to make sure that they are doing it right. So today, let's talk about common mistakes that can hurt your credit score and learn from it. Tip number 1, do not have too many credit. How many credit cards do you really need? You know, when we go to the mall or supermarket, the person working there or the cashier will offer us their store credit card to get a 10% discount on your purchase that day. We are so tempted to apply because that's a discount, 10% discount. Who doesn't want a discount, right? What's the problem of applying too many credit? You know, every time you fill out an application form, it actually sends an inquiry to your credit bureau, and every inquiry reduces your credit score by few points. Not only credit cards. For example, we go to a car dealership just to check on their new cars. It's okay if you're really buying a car, but if you just want to check it out, do not allow them to run an application for you. Question is, what is the ideal number of credit cards that I should have? I would say 2 or 3 are best. Plus, it is easier to manage a few credit cards. Having said that, now that you've realized that you have too many credit cards, you might think to close some of it. But be careful when closing an account. Tip number 2, do not close an account with older history. Payment history and credit history length make up the bulk of your credit score. So make sure you maintain the ones with a good payment history. You cannot go back in time, and the only way is to build it up again from scratch. Tip number 3, pay first and then dispute. If there is something in your credit card that is not your doing, for example, a purchase that you do not recognize, or a cell phone bill that is charged to you for a service that you did not take, don't wait for it to be settled first before you pay on your due date. Missing a payment on your due date can be worse. An account that is behind 3 months, 4 months, or more is extremely damaging to your credit score. You need to dispute an item in your credit transaction. Make sure you still pay on time, on your due date. The processing of your dispute may take a little longer, but it will be settled. But once you miss a payment, it is already recorded in your credit history and cannot be taken back. Tip number 4, do not co-sign for someone else, or in other words, be a guarantor to someone else's loan. There are cases that when I pull a credit report for some clients, there is a loan that they don't recognize. And then later, it will come back to them, oh, that's the car loan of my friend and I guarantor for it. But why is it in my loan? Yes, it will be in your credit bureau report. That becomes your loan too. The problem here is you rely on their capability of paying that loan. Whatever they do to that loan, whether they pay on time or they miss a payment or not paying it at all, it actually also reflected in your credit bureau report. You know you want to help your friend, and the best help that you can give is not to guarantor for your friend's loan, because you help him not to take a loan that is beyond his or her capacity. Well, I hope we all learn from these tips. Be a good steward of your finances and your resources. Have an amazing week and see you again next week on Charen's 2-Minute Weekly Tips. Oh, please don't forget to subscribe below. More tips to come. Thank you.